Hi everybody, happy Easter, happy Passover. We are filming this today on Easter Sunday here in the United States, so I hope you are doing fun stuff. This is a good project that's fun stuff if you're done celebrating with family and who are your COVID-19 convening with as opposed to actual convening in a space. So yeah, what we're doing today, actually first I wanted to show you a couple of things. We just got one of the Torin Big Red carts, so I wanted to show you this. Oh my gosh, if you're a doer, these are called creeper stools and they're used in mechanics garages typically, but you can put your tools underneath and you roll around. I'm somebody, if you watch any of our Facebook Lives or go on YouTube and watch our videos, I am someone who likes to work on the ground more often than I am in the workbench setting. So I love this because I can put the tools underneath and then I just move around with it and can roll around. So huge fan of that. That's like, I don't know, $25, $30 at Lowe's. Super fan of it. You put it together really quickly and then roll it around. So you can have one in your house, you can have one outside. I'm a fan of it in this makeshift workshop that we're in, thanks to Craftsman Tools and Lowe's Home Improvement, that we're making it work out here in our garage until we can move around. And the other really cool thing that's happening is we just bought a 1975 Airstream Argosy. So it's halfway redone, it's gutted, it's painted on the outside, and we are going to make that into our mobile tool lab and workshop. So that right now during COVID-19, the challenge for us and our mission, which ordinarily in normal days is to be with girls in our Builder Girls Club or our Explorer Girls, which are 9 to 12 year olds and 12 to 14 year olds, will be in the schools, after school camps, and then also women, connecting them in Women at Work Trade Circle with She Built the City, 2 jobs that are, and training that's out in the environment. Since we can't do all of that right now, we have to take things here on Facebook or on YouTube, online, really, for our learning. And then also, we came up with this idea of why can't we get an Airstream and just take it to the world? So we can drop off kits, we can do safe social distancing projects and bring it to the community. So we're gonna take it on the road, why not? That's gonna be our office and our workshop. So stay tuned for that because we will be upfitting her and we also will need to name her. So we don't have a name yet for our Airstream. So that'll be something for our social media fans to come up with. Maybe we'll do something fun around that in contest. But what are we doing today? So we're gonna make this fast because we do know it is Easter Sunday and there's other stuff to do. Hopefully you can get outside and take a walk or a run. This is a super easy circular shelf. So these are I saw these first at Urban Outfitters on the wall and I was like, oh my gosh, these are great. These are so simple to make. These are literally, what you would need for this supply list is 2 full rounds, sorry. So one of these, which is basically a barstool round that you can find at any big box retailer that's a home improvement warehouse. I get mine at Lowe's. This is backed by the spindle section and the dowel rods. You find rounds like these for people that are putting projects together, woodworking. 2 of these, I think they're $7.50 a piece, $7.99, something like that. So 2 of these, if you get 3 total, you can make 2 projects. So, you know, do the math on that. It's $21, $22. These are pretty inexpensive, less than $10 a piece to make if you already have your stain. So I won't tell you the Urban Outfitters price. They were a lot more money than that. I liked it because it's a good entry-level project. Again, beginner project that we would be doing this with our Builder Girls Club, 12 to 14 year olds. So all you need are those 2 rounds. You would need either a jig. So this is if you don't have a jigsaw, this should be part of your arsenal. If you have just a kind of a beginner workshop or a beginner starter workshop, you don't need all of this. You need these 3 things. You can do any and just about all of our projects with, I like the ones that are cordless. So this has got a 220 volt battery on it and you just consistently read your battery or recharge your battery. You can get the corded ones as well, but I like this because I can take this on the road with me and we can do mobile projects. Jigsaws will cut anything. You just have to kind of watch your power because it can get away from you and you really want a stable surface and clamp it down. It's the other learning lesson there. You have a power driver, or excuse me, a power drill. So this is to pre-drill your holes. And then you also have a driver. So this is going to be putting in any screws. So super simple stuff. You know, all in, I think that's maybe $100. And you can do a myriad of projects. This is the one that is the nice to have. You can always use a block to sand, but you're always, if you're going to be doing projects like this and projects with us, you're always going to be sanding something, just corners after you saw something or after you edge something. If you're going to be doing anything consistently, I'm a massive fan of the power sander. So that's another $30 or so, 30, 40 bucks. Super good investments, and all of these have batteries that are interchangeable, so you don't need to go and buy bigger batteries or buy additional stuff with it. So simple stuff. That's all we use today. And again, you don't even need the sander, but you definitely need the power drill and a power driver and something to cut. So I used my table saw. Not everybody else had, or a circular saw. Not everyone has that. Again, that would be a kind of second level investment that I would recommend, and that's what we work on in intermediate skills with the girls in Builder Girls Club. But you can do the same things with the jigsaw. So I have already done that, so I'm bringing this to you. I have already sawed down. Literally all I did, I'm gonna use this one for YouTube and Facebook. I have pre-drilled a lot of this just to save us some time. But I've already figured out, okay, what's my center point on this? My center point is at about 5 and 13/16, I think. So, you know, mark it. I used, because I went ahead on this, so I stained this one. This is our Minwax stain, which I'm falling in love with. If you follow me, you know. I'm starting to fall in love with stain. I really love spray paint. But this is that ebony again that I used on this one, just because I think it's got a natural look. I'd like to put something like succulents on it, so some greenery, so keep a natural feel. That's super easy. I went ahead and stained it first. I did go ahead and do my saw cut, but after that I stained, just because I don't want to do that, especially with stain. It's going to fill into that pocket and would get an inconsistent look. So I went ahead and stained. It's your choice if you're just going to spray paint or craft paint, because this one, I'll show you what we did. I don't know if you can see this, but I left it natural. I could have gone back in there and put in some kind of other decorative color. I'm not a detail work person. I like to mass produce things. So I did it quickly this morning. I just used my painter's tape. I don't know, what is this, an inch wide? You can play with the widths. The teenagers love this. So again, Builder Girls Club, not saying they wouldn't do the stain, but they have a tendency to like the flashy. That doesn't always include pink and purple and glitter, but anything flashy to them is awesome. So tried to hone in on their spirit and engage their spirit for this one. So I just used the painter's tape, went ahead and did my spray paint, but you could do this afterwards. It would be a little more working if I already had my piece on. So I recommend you make your saw cut or your jig cut on your half piece, and then you go ahead and do your painting or your staining, and then we'll put it all together afterwards. So this technique, super simple stuff. If you like the look of this, and again, I don't know if you can see, I know Facebook is a little tougher with seeing detail work due to the bandwidth, but I used Krylon, so I'm a huge fan of the paint and primer combo. These are like $4 cans at Lowe's, and it's paint and primer, so it's a lot less of runs, drips, and you can kind of get away with yourself with spray paint, and that's for the girls too. They have a tendency to be really liberal with throwing spray paint, so it's really forgiving. And then I just put on the Glitter Blast. I am a huge fan of this. This glitter spray paint is awesome. As long as you let it cure for a couple hours, you don't want to touch this because you will get glitter on just about anything. So it'll be like you walked into the troll's house and the glitter bombs everywhere. But this is rose gold. They have regular gold, and I believe they had silver too, but rose gold is like the thing now. So I got the rose gold. This is more like $7 or $8 a can, but it goes a long way. So you can get a bunch of projects out of that. And again, if you're working with teen girls or preteen girls, this is the wow factor right here. So I went ahead and did that with this one. I have let this cure for a couple of hours. I've gone ahead and marked my center line and then also outlined here just so I know exactly where I'm going to place. And then what you do to match this up, I went ahead and pre-drilled. I've already put this one together. So as you can see, what did I use here? As far as screws, I'm a huge fan of just getting massive, like big boxes, 125, 200 of 1 5/8 goes a long way. Like these are deck screws. This is more than what I need for this project. You can get something smaller, but I like stuff that lasts and I like to buy it once. So a $4 box of screws that I've used on I don't know how many projects, and these are 1 5/8 inch. So you can see this has got some. It's not gonna drop. I would not use anything like Gorilla Glue or wood glue on this, especially if you're going to be putting anything on it. I always like to screw it in. So that's all I've done is I went ahead and marked, I measured back here. So measure here, and I just decided, okay, for equal weight distribution, I'm gonna do it 3 inches in, 3 inches in on either side. Again, super simple stuff. I took power drill, went ahead and pre-drilled my holes, and then I took my 2 screws and I half drilled them in. So you can see I've got, you know, in and in. So I could just make sure that I lined up correctly with these. I'm double checking that I did the right math. I was even off a little bit on that. So I need to take that over just a tad. But then you can line up. What I do is I put a lot of pressure on it so that I can make the mark just an indentation in the wood whenever you're doing a project like that. Make the indentation in your wood and then you see it, and then you can make, this was 1 inch wide, so I just put my center line with my carpenter pencil, and I just know I was a little off on that one, so I can go back in and make just a little bit bigger hole. If you're working with plywood, let me see if this works a little better. Again, we're making it work. And watch it with this glitter glue. I definitely was touching it a little sooner than I should. It takes a little bit longer to cure, not glitter glue, glitter spray paint. The glitter spray paint does take a bit of time. All right, so I'm right in the middle of that. And again, you won't be me making it work. But you're always going to want to pre-drill some holes just for the sheer fact that it makes your screwing a lot easier. And since I'm going to be doing this on my own, I highly recommend for this one that you do have a partner who can help you out. My partner right now, I'm still just a teeny tiny bit off, and I want to make sure that this is working. So I'm going to make my indentation. There we go. There we go. That, I think, is going to work just fine. So I am going to put this vertical, and again, if I had a partner with me, that person would be helping. Let's see if this works. You can also clamp this, which I am clearly not doing today. Just to show you how easy this really is. Oh, look at that. And we're done here. So, welcome to our shelf. And this is easy stuff. So I can use this just about anywhere. It's ready to hang. For me, I haven't put any hangers up here. This is something that, it's lightweight. So this isn't something, these two are not things that I'm gonna be hanging a lot of heavy stuff with. So you could even use 2 of those command strips, and then you can move it all over the place. If you're somebody that's mobile or it's a kid's room and they constantly change their mind, command strips are the way to go. Make sure you get the heavy duty ones that can hold, I don't know, I would say up to 10 pounds all in. Or if you really wanted to, you could do a picture hanging kit, which is a super easy add. A couple of screws and you're done. So welcome to super easy project of circular shelf. So all in, this could take you, after staining and letting it cure, assembly's really 10 to 15 minutes. So play around with that, have fun. You could do all kinds of different things. Again, fabric paint, or I always say fabric paint, craft paint. If you wanted to do that with the painter's tape, you could do 100 colors in there. I just happen to use spray paint because anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely adore spray paint. So, happy Easter, happy Passover. We hope you have fun. And look at our YouTube. If you miss anything content-wise, you can search us, just She Built This City on YouTube, or always look at our archives at Facebook. So we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.